Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum. In today's video, I'll be basically making an argument for the truth of Islam from the prophecies of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, specifically the Hadith of Najd. Now, this is a proof for the truth of Islam, but along with that, this is a massive refutation of Salafiyah, the Salafis, right? And they are very prominent on the internet dawah scene. So, while this is an proof for the truth of Islam, it will be challenged by quite a bit of Muslims. But Salafis overall probably less than 3% of the Ummah, so I don't really feel there's any issue here. So this prophecy is basically from the Hadith of Najd. Let's get started. This is a reference. I'll just read the Hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Oh Allah, basically Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is praising Yemen and then Sham, right? Now someone from Najd asked the Messenger of Allah ﷺ to also bless Najd, right? Then Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, there, meaning in Najd, is the place of earthquakes and afflictions, and from there comes out basically the Karna Shaitan. Now, why is this relevant? Najd is a very specific place, right? It's to the west of Medina, west of Hijaz region. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is singling it out, basically that someone called the Karn or someone called the Karn of Shaitan will arise from it. Now, because horn of Shaitan is mentioned, this can't be anything good, right? Now, what's the logic of basically my claim is this prophecy has been fulfilled, and it has been fulfilled in form of the Wahhabi movement that arose in the 1700s, late 1700s. I think Ibn Abdul Wahhab died in 1792. Now here's the basic logic of the argument, and then I'll go into its proofs, and I'll also address the contentions that Salafis will bring, because I think mainly the Salafis will challenge this. So here's the logic of the argument. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ identified Najd as a region where horn of Shaitan will rise, right? It is not a stretch to assume that from Najd is supposed to be a site where a major deviant group or something that is extremely harmful to Muslims will emerge. I don't think it's a stretch. It can be easily shown that a major deviant group that caused a lot of bloodshed and harm to the Muslims emerged from the location identified by Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. This can actually be shown through numerous examples, and to be honest, even non-Muslim scholars won't challenge the point I'm making regarding Ibn Abdul Wahhab and what he did. The leader of that group was Ibn Abdul Wahhab, who basically started the Wahhabi movement. So the prophecy is clear cut, the argument is clear cut. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ identified the region where a major source of trouble for Muslims is supposed to rise from. We can see that the prophecy was fulfilled 200 years ago when a major fitna from Najd emerged. So this is a prophecy and a proof for the truth of Islam. Now, why is Ibn Abdul Wahhab Karna Shaitan, right? This is the thing I need to prove from my argument to work. And there are basically 4 reasons. The first one is the Wahhabis under his leadership committed massacres of a massive number of Sunni Muslims. This is something no one will challenge, and to be honest, there are dozens of references for this point, and I'll link those in the video description. Second reason why Ibn Abdul Wahhab is Karna Shaitan. The Salafi beliefs are wrong. We can actually prove Islamically speaking Salafi beliefs are wrong, and the proof for this is very simple. Salafi beliefs are not present for large sections of Islamic history. I made a video on this point before. Many of you may have watched this, and in that video I quoted Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Abdul Wahhab, Salafi authorities who acknowledged that their beliefs were not present among their contemporaries and predecessors. And basically I proved through multiple ahadith that for something to be Islamically correct, right, the safe set has to be present throughout Islamic history. Salafi beliefs don't do that, which is why Salafi beliefs cannot be correct. Third reason why Ibn Abdul Wahhab is Karna Shaitan. Basically, Ibn Abdul Wahab takfired all his teachers. He declared all of his teachers to be kuffar, and his beliefs were opposed by all the Sunni scholars of his time. This is a fact, and in the reference I quote for showing that Salafi beliefs are not present for large sections of Islamic history, Ibn Abdul Wahab is saying basically that none of his scholars knew the meaning of La ilaha illallah. So, I mean, he is clearly a deviant. He is clearly preaching something. You don't have to believe that what he preached is right or wrong if you are not a Muslim, right? But you can clearly see that what he is teaching is different from traditional Islam, and why that is Islamically not correct. So there are three basically reasons why Ibn Abdul Wahab is Kharna Shaitan: the level of bloodshed, the opposition to the scholars of his time. Third reason, Salafi beliefs are wrong Islamically. Fourth reason why Ibn Abdul Wahab is Kharna Shaitan: the Salafi position about what is shirk, right? That is a fundamental part of Islam, and shirk is basically the biggest sin in Islam, ascribing partners to Allah. The Salafi position on shirk is wrong. This is another proof of Salafiyya being misguided, and if Salafis are misguided, right, then Ibn Abdul Wahab is misguided, and if he is misguided according to a hadith, then that supports him being Kanna Shaitan. Now there is a very simple proof for this. We have numerous hadiths. I'll make a video on this, a detailed video on this later, but there's a very simple argument. There are multiple hadiths that is basically say that the Muslims will not go, vast majority of the Muslims at least will not go into major shirk. The one of the foundational claims of Salafiyya was that the vast majority of Ummah went into major shirk. So Salafis cannot be correct Islamically, basically meaning Ibn Abdul Wahab cannot be correct Islamically. He is opposed by numerous ahadith, and he committed a massive number of massacres of Muslims, and he opposed all the Islamic scholarship of his time. So these are four very strong reasons for thinking that Ibn Abdul Wahab is Karna Shaitan and fulfillment of that prophecy. Now, there are basically 3-4 contentions to this point, right? And inshallah, I will go into each of them. First contention is basically Ibn Abdul Wahab was a Muslim, so he can't be a Karna Shaitan, right? Basically, the logic is the Karna Shaitan is supposed to be very evil. Muslims can't be that evil, so Ibn Abdul Wahab cannot be Karna Shaitan. The problem with this contention is why not? If there is a Muslim that is extremely evil, that opposes all the scholars of his time, does mass takfir on the Ummah, and butchers numerous innocent Muslims, why can't that person be Karna Shaitan? I mean, this contention is nothing but a value judgment, so it doesn't work. Second point, Najd is Iraq. This is actually a really common and a really stupid one, because we have explicit ahadith that distinguish between Najd and Iraq. So Najd cannot be Iraq, and this contention is fails, and it's actually one of the most common Salafi lies. Third contention, a version of hadith of Najd has mentioned Iraq instead of Najd. What this contention is basically saying, there is a version of this hadith, this particular hadith, that has instead of Najd, it has Iraq in its place. So the claim is it's supposed to be about Iraq. No, this contention does not work, because the hadith that has Najd, it is from Nafi Rahmatullah Alayh, from I think Ibn Umar Raziyallahu Anhuma. Nafi Rahmatullah Alayh is a much stronger narrator than the person who narrates the version of the hadith which has Iraq. So this hadith, the one that mentions Najd instead of Iraq, this is a stronger hadith. So this contention also fails. There is another point that is brought up, that basically there is a hadith that praises Banu Tamim, which is the tribe of Ibn Abdul Wahab, right? So he can't be the Karna Shaitan. Actually, there is a problem with this. Firstly, even if it was about Banu Tamim, right, that doesn't mean it's about Ibn Abdul Wahab in particular. Now, and there is another issue. If there is one hadith praising Banu Tamim, there are multiple hadiths that speak harshly against Banu Tamim and Najdis in general. So the opposing side can bring one hadith, I can bring multiple hadith. So this contention also fails. In conclusion, inshallah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I think this is a massive proof for the it is a proof for the truth of Islam, because think about it. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is identifying a specific place from which a major fitna, a major problem for the Muslims is supposed to rise. We can see that happened in our lifetimes, 200 years ago actually, and we can prove Islamically Ibn Abdul Wahab is wrong. His beliefs are wrong, and he butchered so many Muslims. So I think we have a very strong case for Ibn Abdul Wahab being Karna Shaitan, and in that case, this is a fulfilled prophecy of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inshallah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum.